What if the only way to save a life was to lie? What if you had to deceive your friends, your enemies, and even history itself? She lied to Nazis, lied to hospitals, lied to priests, lied to children. But not for power, not for money. She did it to save over 2,500 lives, and no one knew. This is the true story of Irena Sendler, a woman who lied to everyone and became one of the greatest heroes the world almost forgot. This is UTAK Diaries, and today we're telling the truth about a woman who lived by lies. Warsaw, Poland. It's 1939. The world is about to explode. Nazi Germany invades Poland. Within weeks, Jewish families are rounded up and forced into the Warsaw Ghetto. 400,000 people crammed into a space the size of Central Park. Disease, starvation, fear, and outside the wall, a 29-year-old woman named Irena Sendler is watching in horror. She wasn't a soldier, not a spy, just a social worker. But what she saw broke her. Irena knew. Doing nothing was not an option, but helping meant risking everything. So she chose a path that no one expected. She became a liar. Irena forged her first document, faked her job. She changed her name, pretended to be a health inspector entering the ghetto. She claimed she was checking for disease, but really, she was looking for children. She wore a nurse's uniform, carried fake ID, told German soldiers she was just treating typhus, were sedatives, false documents, and sometimes even a toolbox to hide a baby. But behind her bag of medicine, she began smuggling children out. Some were hidden under stretchers, others sedated and carried in sacks. A few escaped through secret tunnels or underground passageways. Every day was a new lie. Every lie, a life saved. Irena didn't work alone. She secretly joined a Polish resistance group called WWII, focused solely on helping Jews escape the Nazis. They built an underground network. Priests who created fake baptismal certificates, doctors who renamed children on hospital records, families who risked execution to hide a single child. Irena became the coordinator, overseeing routes, families, and identities. Every new child needed a new name, a new story, a new history that could survive the war. She kept 2 records. One list with the real names, one with their new Christian identities. Both were hidden in a glass jar, buried beneath an apple tree, so they can be smuggled out. You may never see them again, but if you don't, they may die. Some screamed. Some begged Irena to take them all. Convincing parents to give up their children was the hardest part. Imagine, you're a mother in the ghetto. A stranger tells you to hand over your child. Some refused, but she couldn't. She made impossible decisions. Day after day, she saw death, hunger, disease, yet she returned. Every single day. In 1943, her lies caught up with her. The Gestapo discovered her identity. She was arrested, tortured. They broke her legs, smashed her feet, demanded names, threatened her family. She told them nothing. Not a single child's name, not a single family. They sentenced her to death. But even that wasn't the end. WWII bribed a German guard. She escaped hours before her execution and went into hiding. Her name added to the Nazi killed list. Her work continued from the shadows. After the war, Irena returned to the apple tree, dug up the jars. Each slip of paper held a name, a Jewish child, and their new identity. She tried to reunite them with their families, but most of their parents were dead, killed in death camps. She saved their lives, but couldn't bring back their past. Many children were raised by the Polish families who hid them. They grew up Catholic, unaware of their Jewish heritage. Years later, some would find out, and only then realize they had been saved by a lie. For years, no one spoke of Irena Sendler. She lived a quiet life in Warsaw, taught, raised a family, worked as a nurse. She never considered herself a hero, never wrote a book, never asked for attention. It wasn't until 1999, over 50 years later, that her story reached. A group of American high school students in Kansas were researching the Holocaust. They stumbled across a single paragraph about Irena in an old article, then awards. They turned her story into a play, Life in a Jar. That play went viral, and suddenly, the world wanted to know more. This regret will follow me to my death. Irena began receiving letters. 2,500 children, tens of thousands of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, all alive because one woman was brave enough to lie. Then interviews. She was honored in Israel as righteous among the nations, nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, but she remained humble. I could have done more, she said. This regret will follow me to my death. She died in 2008, at 98 years old. Her legacy? 2,500 children, tens of thousands of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, all alive because one woman was brave enough to lie. Was lying the right thing to do? Her secrets? Salvation? In school, we're taught lying is bad, honesty is everything, but history is messier. Irena lied every day. To Nazis, to parents, to protect children who couldn't protect themselves. Her lies were armor. It wasn't clean, it wasn't easy, but it was brave. And sometimes, bravery doesn't look like a sword. It looks like a fake document, and a nurse sneaking a child through a sewer. This story isn't about a perfect hero. It's about an imperfect world. And one person who did something anyway. We often forget the quiet heroes, the ones who don't wear capes, who don't ask for medals, who lie to save lives. That's the truth. And sometimes, the truth is built on lies. This was the story of Irena Sendler. This is UTAK Diaries.